Hello friends, let us learn 5G radio in 15 minutes. I am Ashok Kumar, Director Wireless Access in NTI PRIT of Department of Telecommunications. So in this session we'll learn about the spectrum for 5G radio. 5G radio is called new radio. Bandwidth options, waveform used in our new radio, numerology, resource block, cyclic prefix, frame structure, resource grid, and flexible framework of 5G radio. So let's start with spectrum. 3GPP has defined two frequency ranges for 5G new radio, FR1 and FR2. FR1 is from 450 MHz up to 6 GHz and FR2 is for 24.25 GHz to 52.6 GHz. And the usage scenario for different frequency band in 5G NR will be like this. So for coverage layer, sub 1 GHz frequencies will be used, maybe 450 MHz or 700 MHz. So that will provide a large coverage area. As we know that lower the frequency, higher the coverage. Frequency range from 1 GHz to 6 GHz is for capacity layer. So we'll have a less coverage, but there will be high throughput we can get. And then we have a very high frequency and also millimeter wave from 6 GHz to 100 GHz. So that will be used for very high throughput coverage, and the cell size will be very less, 10 meter, 30 meter, etc. So let's talk about different bandwidth options, channel bandwidth option in case of 5G new radio. In case of LTE, the maximum bandwidth allowed is 20 megahertz, whereas in 5G new radio it is very high. Let us see that. So in case of FR1 frequency range 1, the bandwidth options given by 3GPP is 5 megahertz, 10 megahertz, 15 megahertz, 20 megahertz, and so on up to 100 megahertz. In case of frequency range 2, which is beyond 6 gigahertz and up to 100 gigahertz, the bandwidth option is 50 megahertz, 100 megahertz, 200 megahertz, and 400 megahertz. So what is the waveform used in 5G new radio? It is OFDM, orthogonal frequency division multiplexing, same as in LTE. Why it is called orthogonal? All because whenever there is a peak of one subcarrier, there will be null of all other subcarriers, and that this distance from one subcarrier to other subcarrier in frequency domain is called subcarrier spacing. In case of LTE, the subcarrier spacing is 15 kilohertz. In case of 5G NR, it is multiple subcarrier spacings are used. So what are those subcarrier which is used in 5G new radio? So it is 15 kilohertz subcarrier spacing, 30 kilohertz subcarrier spacing, 60 kilohertz, 120 kilohertz, and 240 kilohertz subcarrier spacing. The 15 kilohertz subcarrier spacing is called numerology 0, nu 0. 30 kilohertz subcarrier spacing is called numerology 1. Similarly, numerology 2 is 60 kilohertz, numerology 3 is 120 kilohertz, numerology 4 is 240 kilohertz. That is 2 to the power mu into 15. Mu is the numerology. Now let us understand concept of resource block in 5G new radio. So in 4G, subcarrier spacing used is only 15 kilohertz. In 5G, different subcarriers can be used in different frequency band and for different usage scenario. So what is resource block? In case of LTE, 12 contiguous subcarrier is called resource block. So subcarrier used in LTE is 15 kilohertz. So 12 into 15 kilohertz become 180 kilohertz. So that means the resource block size in frequency domain in case of LTE is 180 kilohertz. But in case of 5G, as I said, different numerologies are used. That is numerology 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And for every numerology, number of subcarrier in a resource block is always 12. But since frequency is doubling from 15 kilohertz, the next numerology subcarrier spacing is 30 kilohertz. So the bandwidth becomes 12 into 30, that is 360 kilohertz. Similarly, for 60 kilohertz subcarrier spacing, it is 720 kilohertz bandwidth. So the bandwidth of a resource block, right? Similarly, if you just move on to next numerology and to the next numerology, so in case of subcarrier spacing 240 kilohertz, so one resource block is 12 into 240 kilohertz, that is 2880 kilohertz. So let us see in a particular bandwidth how many resource block we can get. So let us assume that the numerology is 0, that is 15 kilohertz subcarrier spacing, and suppose we have 50 megahertz bandwidth. So in 50 megahertz you have to remove the guard band from both sides, and one guard band will be 692.5 kilohertz. So just reduce twice of this because both sides there is a guard band, and then if you divide by 15, that is subcarrier spacing, you will get number of subcarrier which can be used, and then if you again divide that by 12, you will get number of resource block, because one resource block is 12 contiguous subcarrier. So if you do this, you will get the number 270. So that means in a numerology 0, which is 15 kilohertz subcarrier spacing, if given bandwidth is 50 megahertz, then you can have maximum of 270 resource blocks. Similarly, if you go to 30 kilohertz subcarrier spacing, that is numerology 0, and if you assume that you have 100 megahertz bandwidth, and from that you have to just reduce this 845 kilohertz from both sides as guard band, and if you remaining divide by 30 kilohertz, you will get number of subcarriers, and then again the result whatever you get divide by 12, you will get total number of resource blocks. So this comes out to be 273. If you do it similarly for 60 kilohertz with 100 megahertz bandwidth, you will get 135 resource block maximum. Now let us discuss what is the minimum number of resource block and maximum number of resource block supported in a particular numerology. So if you look at numerology 0, which is 15 kilohertz subcarrier spacing, so minimum resource block is 24 and maximum number of resource block is 275. So that means if there is a minimum resource block of 24, so what is the minimum channel bandwidth required? 24 into 15 into 12 is the minimum plus the guard band. So this comes out to be 4.32 megahertz. If you want to achieve 275, that is maximum RB possible, resource blocks possible in 15 kilohertz. So 275 into 15 into 12 plus guard band. So this will come as 49.5 megahertz. So if you have only 5 megahertz of the bandwidth, so you can get about 24 RBs or slightly more. And in case of a 49.5, say 50 megahertz, then you can get 275 resource blocks. For 30 kilohertz, so minimum required channel bandwidth will be 8.64 and maximum 99 megahertz, and so on. So higher the numerology, requirement of minimum bandwidth and maximum bandwidth is also increasing. You can see in this table. Let us understand cyclic prefix used in 5G NR for different numerologies. So this is similar to LTE, but since we have multiple numerology here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you look at this diagram, so in case of all the numerology, we use normal cyclic prefix. Cyclic prefix is used to mitigate intersymbol interference. But in case of a 60 kilohertz subcarrier spacing, that is numerology 2, we use normal cyclic prefix, but we also use extended. So in case 60 kilohertz subcarrier spacing is used, in case we are having bandwidth, frequency band in FR1, so that means we are using 60 kilohertz for coverage requirement. So more the coverage, more the ISI, intersymbol interference. So in that case, we'll use extended cyclic prefix. In case this numerology is used in higher frequency band, that is beyond 6 gigahertz, then we can use normal cyclic prefix. So that means that if you just take the entire radio frame of 10 millisecond, in case of a 15 kilohertz subcarrier spacing, you'll have 10 slots because one slot is equal to one subframe. So you have 10 slots in a frame. If you move to 30 kilohertz subcarrier spacing, that is numerology 1. So in 1 millisecond subframe you are having 2 slots. That means in the entire radio frame it will have 20 time slots. So for numerology 1, that is 30 kilohertz, you have 20 slots in a frame. If you further move, there will be 40 slots, 80 slots, and then 160 slots. The number of slots are doubling when we move on to higher order of numerology. But every slot will have 14 symbols. That means, so here how many symbols you can have? 14 into 10 number of symbols you can have in one radio frame of 10 millisecond. And here you can have 14 into 20, and here 14 into 40, 14 into 80, and 14 into 160 number of slots in a radio frame, right? And in case of numerology 2, number of symbols in a slot can be either 14 in case we use normal cyclic prefix, otherwise it will have only 12 because cyclic prefix will be longer, so we are losing 2 symbols when you are using extended cyclic prefix. Now let us understand what is resource grid. Let's have a look at this diagram. So this diagram shows one subframe. In time domain, it is one subframe of 1 millisecond. So horizontal it is time. So from this place to this place, it is 1 millisecond. Now in 1 millisecond, how many OFDM symbols are possible? So in case of 15 kilohertz subcarrier spacing, as we saw that there will be 14 symbols. That means one subframe is equal to one time slot is equal to 14 symbols if we are using 15 kilohertz subcarrier spacing. If you are using 30 kilohertz subcarrier spacing, means in 1 millisecond we'll have 2 time slot, and since every time slot will have 14 symbols, so you can have 28 symbols like this, 1 2 3 4 up to 28. Okay, in case you further move into numerology, that is numerology 2, So you will have 4 time slot in 1 millisecond, and every time slot will have 14 symbols. So you will have 56 symbols, number of symbols. But the time duration of every slot will be half if you move on higher side on the numerology. So this is on horizontal side, gives you number of symbols. So every box represent one symbol in time domain on the horizontal side. And what is there on the vertical side? Vertical side is frequency. That means one box is one subcarrier, right? So how many such boxes or how many subcarriers depends upon the bandwidth. We had calculated that in a 15 kilohertz subcarrier spacing, how many subcarrier would be possible in a 50 kilohertz bandwidth. So that was around 271. So there will be 271 boxes shown here in case we are using 50 megahertz bandwidth and 15 kilohertz subcarrier spacing. So if you use 30 kilohertz subcarrier spacing and some bandwidth, so it will differ. So this is number of subcarriers shown on the vertical side, and consecutive 12 number of such subcarriers, contiguous 12 number of subcarriers is called resource block. So this is kind of a resource block from this place to this place. If you count, it is total 14, 1 2 3 4 5 6, it is up to 14. So this is a resource block, right? So 12 contiguous subcarrier is a resource block. So let me summarize. On horizontal side, every box will represent one symbol. On the vertical side, every box will represent one subcarrier. And 12 subcarrier, contiguous 12 subcarrier is a resource block. So that means every box is a resource element. So in frequency domain, it is one subcarrier. In time domain, it is one symbol. So this is what is the resource grid. So in 5G new radio, we can use FDD or TDD both. So depending upon which frequency we are using and what is the use case. So let us talk about TDD, time division duplex. FDD is frequency division duplex. So in case of 5G NR, it is very flexible. For example, if you have a slot and in that slot you have symbols, so maybe you can use all the symbols for downlink and say one symbol for uplink. So this is used where downlink is very heavy. In case there is a requirement of uplink more, so uplink heavy transmission, so you can allocate all the symbols for uplink and one symbol for downlink. So that way, so you have very fine grade time division duplexing, which is possible in case of 5G new radio. For example, if it is an URLLC kind of transmission, then this is how your TDD will look like. In a slot, you may have, say, these two as downlink, and then you have uplink. In case of a eMBB, so you can use multiple OFDM symbols across more than one slot as downlink, and maybe few for uplink. And that is for downlink heavy, and for uplink heavy, this kind of structure where uplink symbols are more and downlink is, say, only one across more than one slots. That's why we call it flexible framework in case of a 5G new radio. So if you look at this diagram, which is taken from Qualcomm website, so this is your subcarrier. So that is also a kind of a scalable numerology. You can use different numerology as per the requirement. And then in time domain, you can use or you can give resources for different applications. For example, if you look at this particular space, so in frequency domain it is this number of subcarriers, and in time domain this much time is allocated when UE want to use some services which is kind of enhanced mobile broadband, where say the data requirement is very high. But in case data requirement is low, then you can allocate the smaller part of the resource in frequency domain and in time domain, right? So if you look at this blue one, then this all are shown as to be used as downlink or uplink as per the requirement. So it's a kind of a flexible framework, right? So there are certain blank resources shown here, so this is left for future use, so that's why we call forward compatible. So this here, if you see this traffic, this is designed for mission critical transmission, and all the slot structure is called self-contained slot structure. That is, it contains uplink, downlink, scheduling info, data and acknowledgement in the same slot. So that is what it is called, self-contained slot structure. And then the TTI, that is scalable transmission time interval. Transmission time interval is also scalable. And as I explained, the downlink and uplink is dynamic. So in a very faster dynamic way, the switching is possible between more uplink time slots, less downlink, and then vice versa. And that's how it is called flexible framework. So thank you, and if you have not yet subscribed my channel, please do subscribe, like and share. Thank you. You can contact me on Twitter or Gmail or government mail ID, which is given onto the screen. Thank you.